Soldiers of the 24th Mechanized Brigade destroy a column of Russian vehicles attempting to attack Ukrainian positions in the ruins once known as Chasiv Yar. Russia on Friday claimed it had captured another village in its relentless offensive in eastern Ukraine's Donetsk region, and as it closes in on the critical Ukrainian logistics hub of Pokrovsk after almost 3 years of war. The Russian claim that its forces took Novovasilivka could not be independently confirmed, and Ukrainian officials made no immediate comment. However, battlefield maps published early Friday by the Ukrainian General Staff suggested the village was at least partly under Russian control. A comparison with other maps of the area by the Associated Press indicated Novovasilivka is largely under Russian control. Russian forces have been trying for months to capture the key Donetsk strongholds of Pokrovsk and nearby Chasiv Yar, fighting their way across farm fields and woodland and engulfing small rural settlements. The fall of Pokrovsk and Chasiv Yar could enable the Russian army to complete its hold on Donetsk and even set the stage for it to continue on into the neighboring Dnipro region. The village of Novovasilivka is located around 11 kilometers, 7 miles, southwest of Pokrovsk. Ukrainian officials have said Russia is attempting a pincer movement to surround Pokrovsk. Russian losses in the Donetsk region. Ukraine's Phoenix unit destroyed 4 tanks, an SPG, 2 guns, a 1L-122 radar, 2 BMP-2s, and burned 3 ammo and fuel depots. As of early 2025, Russian forces have sustained significant losses in the Donetsk region due to ongoing intense combat operations. In 2024 alone, reports indicate that Russia suffered approximately 427,000 casualties, including both killed and wounded personnel, primarily in battles within Donetsk Oblast. Despite these substantial losses, Russian troops have continued their offensive efforts. For instance, in late January 2025, Russia claimed the capture of Velika Novosilka in Donetsk. However, Ukrainian forces reported making strategic withdrawals to avoid encirclement, emphasizing that combat operations in the area were ongoing. Analyses suggest that the high casualty rates and equipment losses may not be sustainable for Russia in the long term, especially as they deplete their Soviet-era stockpiles. Reports from 2024 indicate that Russian tank and armored vehicle losses were prohibitive, raising concerns about their ability to maintain prolonged offensive operations. In summary, while Russian forces have made some territorial gains in Donetsk, these advances have come at a considerable cost in personnel and equipment, leading to questions about the sustainability of their current operational tempo. Ukraine's unmanned systems forces now deploy long-range drones capable of carrying 250-kilogram bombs and covering distances of up to 2,000 kilometers. This announcement was made in a statement from the Unmanned Systems Forces Command, released on January 31. This is a unique development that changes the rules of the game on the battlefield, the statement reads. Russian propaganda continually claims to have shot down such aircraft, but the explosions at Russian defense industry facilities, oil refineries, and ammunition depots tell a different story. Additionally, the command said that operators of the 14th Separate UAV Regiment have been striking the enemy's rear for over a year, covering several hundred and even thousands of kilometers. The military also urged the media to use only information from verified sources. They stressed that many unmanned systems forces operations cannot be publicly disclosed due to their critical importance in targeting the enemy's strategic assets. On January 30, Defense Express reported that Ukraine has been using drones capable of carrying 250-kilogram bombs to strike Russian territory for some time. European countries remain divided over proposals to deploy a peacekeeping contingent to Ukraine once a ceasefire is reached in the Russo-Ukrainian War, the Times reported. According to the report, the UK, France, and Northern European countries support a European coalition to send tens of thousands of troops in the event of a ceasefire agreement. However, Germany and some other countries oppose the initiative. Baltic states and Poland are reportedly concerned that the proposed mission could divert essential resources from NATO member states bordering Russia, leaving them vulnerable to the military threat posed by Moscow. A senior source in the UK government indicated that Europe could independently form ground forces if necessary, though officials have asked the United States to provide air cover. This could include deploying Patriot missile batteries capable of intercepting ballistic missiles or aircraft, using intelligence and surveillance resources that Europe lacks. According to a military source, the British Army could potentially send a division of 10,000 to 25,000 soldiers, although this may be challenging given current deployments in Estonia. The article mentions that some view a UN peacekeeping mission, comprising troops from remote countries like India, Bangladesh, and China, as more feasible. Such an approach could potentially win Russia's consent and would involve approximately 100,000 peacekeepers deployed in Ukraine without requiring direct US involvement. Russians are not going to attack Bangladeshi or Indian troops, said one source. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is expected to discuss the issue with EU leaders and NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte at a forthcoming meeting in Brussels. Due to uncertainty surrounding upcoming elections, Germany is reluctant to make commitments on these proposals. Another European diplomatic source stated that US involvement is necessary to enhance deterrence against Russia, and because they have capabilities that all of Europe lacks, such as intelligence and surveillance abilities, and the capacity for a large-scale retaliatory strike if needed. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani that Washington won't give up on Ukraine, according to a report by Politico. During his recent conversation with Rubio, Tajani also emphasized the importance of continued U.S. presence in Africa and the Mediterranean. At the same time, he stated that the main lesson from the Donald Trump's presidency is that Europe must more actively defend its own interests. Europe needs to be strong not only in enforcing rules, but also politically and economically, he said. Previously, Rubio said that the war in Ukraine has dragged on and needs to be settled in negotiations where both sides will need to compromise. President Trump said that Russian dictator Vladimir Putin is ruining Russia by not making a deal, and threatened that Moscow will have big problems if this does not happen. On January 22, the Wall Street Journal reported that Trump instructed Special Envoy for Russia and Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, to end the war in 100 days.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.